Right, okay, so this is the Angel Hug for Thursday. It was pretty intense yesterday, Thursday the 29th, I think. So I'm going to do quite a straightforward one for today, I think. Let's just see what we get from the Secret Language of Colour cards. Take action. Right, okay, so this is going to be a really good day for starting to do something productive about what's happening in your current situation. And it feels as if these actions will be rippling out from some of the shifting that we've been doing recently. And really, the message here is to go inside yourself and just feel your way through. Right, with everything that's happened just recently, with these new awarenesses that I've developed as a result of everything that's just happened, with all of this emotion, with everything that's changed as a result of this, another layer of sensitivity, another layer of cleansing, another layer of growth. What do I need to do today to bring another shift, a shift on a practical, physical level that's going to be really good? So it might be that you need to start really thinking about how to get more involved with creating more connections with people who are of like minds. That feels like a really important thing, because every time we go through another one of these shifts, we evolve. And it's nice to invite more new people, different kinds of energy into our lives, because then we can, we're always learning from each other, learning and growing. And the people around us are learning and growing with us, and we're mirroring each other, and that's all wonderful. But it's also nice to be renewing and enriching our lives constantly with new experiences and new people. So if that's possible, to find a way to do that, just take some new initiative today to just add to the number of people you have in your life that you can connect with, who will mirror for you this new growth, this new progression, this new sense of who you are since this last couple of weeks of really intense shifting. So that feels really good. And I also feel that there's something to do with work, to do with careers, that if it's time for you to start thinking about developing something else as well as what you do, it would be a good day to take action. I love the fact that this card is very green, and it's just making me think of Reiki, because green is a Reiki color. It's very much the color of being in the heart again, and it's also another, I look at it and I feel something very much about being in nature and connecting with our hearts through being in nature. So it could be a good day to actually take action to get yourself outside, rather than just thinking about it or thinking it might be a nice idea, to actually do it, and just to somehow figure it into your day. And I'm going to choose another card. I'm going to choose one of these prayer cards, and the Archangel Michael deck, detached from the situation. Right, so if you're finding yourself in a situation that you need to move away from, or you're finding yourself in a situation that has been that suddenly catapulted you into moving away from it, that there's been dynamic change recently, it's still a good idea to detach from the emotion of it, to stay very clear energetically around it, and so in other words, it's just really reinforcing everything that I've just given you in the interpretation of this card, that it's really a time not to be going backwards, not to be thinking our way through things or trying to fix them, but just to stay very present with ourselves and to move into a different kind of light, a different kind of energy. So we're saying yes to a new kind of energy. I feel every time we make a shift, we need to say yes to what's new. So every time we let go of something, we need to say yes to something else. When we let go of something that isn't quite right, and we say yes to something that is more right, more appropriate, then we are really saying yes to evolution on every level. So just a really quick example of that is that I think it's a couple of weeks ago now, I had a really interesting shift while doing an Atlantis reading, where I just became really aware of the fact that there was something that was going on with this camera issue, with the sound. And I'd been asking before, because I'm really aware that whatever's happening in our lives is mirroring something that's happening on the inside. And I was asking, well, what is this? What's happening here? Show me this, show me what's happening. And during this Atlantis reading, I started to talk about past lives of having been punished for speaking my truth, and all of that came up. And at some point, you know, it was like I felt this shift. My neurons were shifting, you know, my head was spinning, the room was spinning, and it was really a really intense moment, and that I recognize as being a clearing, because I know that I feel it when I take people through a clearing like that. I feel it empathetically, and I feel it when I do my own shifting, when I work with people or when I work on myself. And the very next day after that shift happened, I found myself in a shop getting a new camera. It's crazy for me to be doing this, to be buying equipment at the moment, but I felt I had to do it. I had to have clarity. It had to be done, and it was really suddenly important for me to be heard as a communicator. And what I realized was happening was that I was kind of hiding behind a lot of background noise that was happening. There was a lot of background noise in my life as well that I was having to cut through. And it was all just, I see it as an interesting challenge now. I see it with complete acceptance. But going out into the shop and buying the camera the next day was a way of saying yes to that shift, saying yes to the new energy that was trying to come through. So detach yourself from the old situation again. Just really, really confirm that, and but not, you know, in a very loving way, in a way that just says, I recognize that something has shifted in me, and I'm going to allow it to continue to shift. And the action that you're going to take needs to be something positive that really, really reaffirms that. And the card says, Archangel Michael, I ask you to use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama, so that I may be centered in the knowingness that peace is everywhere within me and this situation. So basically, let go and let God. You know, anything that's really ours is not going to leave us. Anything, any situation, any relationship, any goodness that really belongs in our lives, it will always belong in our lives. It will belong in our lives for as long as it is good and goodness. Okay, that's it for today, everyone. Have a great Thursday, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.